Welcome to the Black Gay History Channel. Please share this video and subscribe to this channel for more captivating content. Frank Ocean is an R&B and pop icon who has enjoyed critical acclaim and success for over a decade now, and he's one of the few male R&B artists to date who's been able to keep fans on the edge of their seats without releasing a ton of music. After coming out on his debut studio album, Channel Orange, in 2012, where R&B hits like Thinking About You and Forrest Gump has him crooning to male love interests, his second studio album, Blonde, was released nearly 10 years ago in 2016. But many fans and music aficionados are patiently waiting for another full-length album, though he has released singles over the years. Now, I'm sure bigger Frank Ocean stans will correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but from what I've seen, Frank Ocean has never identified with a specific sexual identity. He rather just lets his art speak for himself. Of course, he's acknowledged his relationships with men in his past, as well as enduring homophobia growing up, but it seems in his second album, Blonde, he artistically depicts the pressures that come with coming out, especially being deemed the first out gay or queer superstar in hip-hop and R&B. That's gotta be pretty intimidating. Even Blonde's Wikipedia page clearly states that the themes of this album are Ocean's emotions and his masculinity. What challenged his masculinity exactly? Coming out as a gay or queer person in the media, of course. I love that they call this album Avant-Garde Soul because that's just what it sounds like. Dreamy and spacey projections and vocals with echoing hollow melodies throughout the album that make you feel like you're dreaming or deep in Frank Ocean's mind. Even the album cover itself clearly depicts worry or shame. Frank is in the shower naked with his face covered to the camera. The shower is one of those places where, if you're sad or depressed, the bad memories can come back and haunt you. And many people sing in the shower, so this is a perfect setting to indicate sadness, self-reflection, vulnerability, and musical inspiration. On its debut, Blonde hit number 1 on the Billboard 200 album charts, immediately pleasing fans and most critics. This album cemented Ocean as one of the new R&B stars to watch in music, making his second top-selling and critically acclaimed album. This is something we'd never seen from an openly queer black man before. The album opener, Nikes, is aptly named because it's a song that celebrates modern black culture. Nikes are some of the most popular shoes in African American culture and American pop culture in general, because black people have made them cool for decades now. Black folk don't play about their shoes, and in the lyrics, Frank Ocean shouts out some of the most important black topics in modern America, rhyming Carmelo Anthony, the popular basketball player, with Othello, the popular black Shakespeare character. In another verse, he memorializes Trayvon Martin, but also raps about his own interfacing within the culture, smoking weed, relationship drama, sharing men with his lovers. But clearly, with all the spiritual references like yarmulkes and demons, Ocean is still at least mentally spiritual. Maybe I read too much into the lyrics, but is the second track, Ivy, just about a love interest, or is the song really about fame itself? Maybe it's both. The lyrics have Frank Ocean reminiscing about an old friend that maybe was more than that, how life sucked at the time, but in hindsight it was better than he knew. Has life changed with his relationships now that he's grown up and gotten famous? He mentioned his old bandmate from Odd Future, Sid, in the lyrics. Is this song about another one of the bandmates and their old relationship? We know many of the members of the band have come out as gay or queer in recent years. Nosy minds like me want to know. Though Ivy was a more brooding track, on Pink and White we get more sweet soaring vocals and a quick but gorgeous feature from the reigning queen of music, Beyoncé herself. This track is a little less experimental than the first tracks and is a little more radio friendly. Pink and White is one of my favorite tracks from this album, a straight-up love song, but Ocean still finds a way to make the lyrics poetic, unique, and mysterious. In an interlude from presumably Frank Ocean's real mother, there's a recording where she warns him about the dangers of drugs and alcohol, which are in fact major themes from his music, so it's pretty clear Frank Ocean, at least initially, didn't listen, but never forgot what she said. Maybe he's letting us know he figured out his mom was right. Because in the next track, it seems we are inundated with several references to Ocean indulging in different substances, with, ironically, an organ playing in the background taking us to church as Ocean confesses his sins. The word solo has many meanings in this song, like the substances themselves, but when he does these substances, does he also end up or just want to be solo? The chorus for Solo is gorgeous. They're daunting because he's celebrating getting high. It's hell on earth and the city's on fire. Inhale, inhale, that's heaven. Skyline, too, is a pretty little ditty. Another love song that I wonder again if it's about a male love interest. The first line in the song alludes to Ocean's insecurities about spiritual damnation, mentioning making sweet love until God strikes us. Self-Control sounds like a moody, brooding, and soulful breakup track where Ocean laments losing his self-control with his old love interest, and maybe he's okay with being the other man, saying, "I'll sleep between y'all, it's nothing." In the end of the track, Frank Ocean hits us with these stunning harmonies. He's so good at going from minimalist to the max with his sounds. In another quick interlude, Good Guy, Ocean thanks the mysterious good guy who took him out to gay bars in New York and talked his ear off, apparently. Even in this track, Ocean sounds timid and apprehensive, filled with anxiety. There's many more gorgeous love songs on this album, like Nights, Pretty Sweet, and White Ferrari, but a song that I also think is likely about Ocean dealing with the stress of coming out is Siegfried. Throughout the lyrics, we can hear Ocean yelling, "I'm not brave," and he even contemplates if maybe he should settle down and have kids, presumably with a woman. "I couldn't gauge your fears, can't relate to my peers. I'd rather live outside. I'd rather chip my pride than lose my mind out here. Maybe I'm a fool. Maybe I should move and settle. 2 kids in a swimming pool. I'm not brave." I found a quote from djbooth.net that articulates this sentiment perfectly, saying, quote, "What really makes this song special is a collection of singular lines, all coming together to create a wrenching portrait of the guilt that comes with living for yourself in the face of weighty expectations. Each of the 4 verses, bridge, and outro boast lines in their raw vein, lines showcasing Frank battling himself and the forces around him to live a life he can be happy with. There's something to be said for this battle in all of us, how we are naturally people pleasers, and how the prospect of letting someone down simply to relish in your own joy is nothing short of horrible." End quote. Imagine the whole world and news reporters calling you brave for coming out, but feeling you're just living your life and just being honest. Frankly put, it's easy to assume some people in Frank Ocean's life or family still wish he was straight. Maybe Frank Ocean never intended to be a gay hero. He just wanted to be a transparent and honest musician. And maybe going blonde, metaphorically, is his way of blending back into mainstream society because, in fact, he's not brave. I'd love to hear your thoughts about Blonde in the comments.